Hello, so today we're going to start working on your laboratories for your statistics. And as an introduction, you have here your data, the objectives for your statistics. You have your classify the data into appropriate statistical variable, tabulated and encode data systematically using Microsoft Excel and PSPP, and run the appropriate graph for a set of data. So in the introduction, you have your data collection, there are four different types, which is observational study, experiment, simulation, and surveys. So for laboratory, since we're not going to discuss the following, we're going to assume that you have already collected your data. And for your output, actually for this class, you are going to use the sample data to encode using Excel for all the activities for the future. So this is the data that you are going to encode. So for the first lesson today, we're going to encode how to encode data in statistics. So we're going to use Excel. Okay, you can use the Google spreadsheet as your Excel tool. So but for this lecture, we're going to use Microsoft Excel. Okay, so we have Microsoft Excel, and this is example one, and we also have example two, so that we can use this both examples later to show the other portions of the statistics laboratory. Okay, so first is how to encode data in statistics. If this is your given data, first you have to identify your variables. Okay, so in this case, since it's already actually in tabular form, you actually simply copy the data set. Okay, so we have this nominal data, which is the company name. The company name, and then you can actually ignore the ticker symbol, since it's just a short description or the initials of the company, so you can actually just remove this one. So for example, this is respondent one, then this is the name if you're going to do surveys in the future. And sometimes the band names are optional, so this sticker symbol is actually optional. Then you have your exchange, or the credit card or cards used for transactions in this company or accepted. Then you have your market capital in millions. Okay, so that's another variable. Then you have your price earnings ratio. So this is another variable. Lastly, you have your gross profit margin, or you can simply type this one as GPM. Then you can just note somewhere here that GPM is gross profit margin in percentage. Okay, so you can have that one. So that's gross. Okay, and actually for this one, you can also have this one as PER. Okay, or um, price earnings earnings ratio. You can have this one in price, so that your table will actually look clean. For example, if you have surveys in the future, you can have that one as Q1, Q2, Q3. Instead of you write the whole question, you can simply have this one also as MC. So this is now your market cap. See, market cap in $1 million or dollars millions. Okay, so this is now your have that one later in your. And then you can have this one. Always have this one in center. Then you can have page MC or ANJM PM. And you simply copy all the companies. So for the first one, that's then market cap, price or ratio earnings, and we have gross profit margin. And for the second one, and actually, you can use a ticker symbol na lang so that hindi lawig i-type mo. Anyway, you will have this one as reference for the future. You can have this one. OTC is over the counter. And then we have 52.5, 6.2, and 59.3. So please be very careful in encoding because usually that's the problem. Because if you're just copying the data, then there's probability that you can mistype. Okay, so please make sure because one wrong data will mean also that your data presentation later will also be wrong. Okay, so very careful in doing that. So that's why this is a group effort. You have to check your classmates' works and your group works. Hundred 11.5, 7.2, and 23.8. The next we have the companies: North Energy, Hansen Natural Corp, Marine Max Incorporated, then Nanometrics Incorporated, so that's Nano. Then they also use OTC. Then that's 228.6, 0, and 0.3. Okay. Or you can also do this one in case STF, ETC, MSS. You just copy it by column. Then SEN, ECTY, MBX, PO, RCAF, SING, EWST, DRN, and so on and so forth. And you have the STF, that's OTC, then STF, that's also OTC, then ETC has Amex, MSS also Amex, SEN, NYSE, and so on and so forth. And after that one, it's 228.6, so 22.1, 51.1, 101.8, 101.8, and 193.4, and 97.2. Okay, so that's PCTY. Okay, then you also have this one, 8, so you can have 33.5, 35.8, 26.8, 10.7, 10.9, 18.9. Okay, so 7.2, that's 15.9, I have 18.9, and 53.3, so that 4.1, 35.9, and 37.6. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video, then I'll type the rest of the data, and I'll just show you the finished data. Now we'll go to the last part, so that's 22.9 and 92.2, the last part. And then let's, so this is now your data set. This given data according to the table has data set for 25 shadow stocks. You have to use the count tool. So you highlight this one, then the count should be 25. Okay. And or since there are 5, so that's 25 times 5, so that's 125. Okay. Then you just make sure that the data are correctly encoded. So just glance over. So that's 52.5, 51.1. That's one, oh, we miss, oh, that's 1011.5. Dapat 111.5 lang siya. So that's 0.6, 92.1. So that's very, it's always good that you check your data if you correctly encoded. So 51.1, 101.1, 103.4, 97.2, 136.5, 23.2, 173.4, 64.3, 29.1, 27.3, 66.1, 137.1, 240.9, 95.9, 103.6, 106.9, 195.5, 62.8, and 92.2. You also, if you want also to check if the OTC is correct, so there's 3 OTC, then NYCA, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you count this one, that's 5. Then you have AMIX, then you have 3 OTC, so that's 3 OTC, then another AMIX, then OTC, it's 2, and NYSE, then AMIX, OTC, NYSE, and OTC, then AMIX. Okay. And if you want to check the rest, you probably want to check your price earnings ratio. So you just follow your this column, the pair column. So 6.2, 7.2, 38.0. If you want this one to appear as the same as this one, you can always select this data set. Then just select the values inside. Okay. Then you can format cells. Okay. Then this one, if it's general, you can change this one to number. Then the decimal places should be 1. Just simply okay. So that's the 38 will become 38.0. Okay, then 33.5. 6.8, 18.7, 15.9, 18.9, 20.7, 8.8, 22.1, 9.7, 7.4, 11.0 on, but it's automatic. 26.9, 3.6, 6.1, 45.6, 7.9, 68.2, 20.5, 2.9. So that's correct. And if you want to check, you can always check from top to bottom. Per I'll scroll down again. So 74.2, 45.5, 60.7, 0.8, 619.4. You can, if you want to check the pairing, so 52.1, dapat the column right next to it is 33.6, then the column right after is 240.9. So you check this one. Well, that's INMRY. So meaning that's the correct data set. It's 33.6, 16.3, 30.8, 9.6, 35.7, 15.5. Oh, again, oh, it's 300. It's 366.4. The data should be only 36.4. Okay, so that's why it's always good to correct your data or check your data. 30.6, 37.6, 35.9, 4.1, 53.3, 23.8, 44.8, 59.3, and finally 36.7. Okay, so for the first example, you now have encoded it into ready for your Excel. I'm going to use Excel later on to organize and present your data set. Okay. Then we have another example here, which is the product information for 10 tablet computers, and it's kind of blurred. Sorry. Anyway, I'm tamad to take another picture. Anyway, I just see the data. You just need to copy the data. So again, you identify your variable. So in this case, we have your tablet. So that's the name. Then you have the cost in dollars. So you can actually add that one. Then you have your display size. You have to indicate class that is in inches. You can add IN here. It's in inches. Then battery life. And of course also if you want to use notes later that it's you can use DS, OS, oh, battery life in hours. Diba? So you can also do that one. It's also in large enlarge it, this one, so you can see. Okay, that's in hours. Then you have your CPU manufacturer. So that's CPU, not the school. It's a central processing unit. That's manufacturer. Okay. And we forgot your operating system. So since you're in Excel, you can simply insert. Yeah, it's not hard. Okay. Yeah. Wrong column. So that's one. Then you have OS for operating systems. And just select this one. Then bam. Are you hard? That's, then you can just simply remove Acer. Or if you want, actually you can include so that this is Acer. Konya. Then I'll just type the rest of this since there are only 10. So let's just type everything. Okay, so just follow. You like it? So let's check if you have 10. So you simply select everything. Then below you should say account. So that's 10. So meaning you have copied all the tablets. Okay. Now of course, you can always shortcut this one if you want. It's not really that important. And of course, you can also do the activities that designed to you for this module with this video. Okay, so you can just assign parts to your group mates, how much parts you would like to do, and then you follow. Follow. And of course, after you check each other's work, since you have to consolidate your work after. Okay. It's 360. And for OS, we have Windows, Android. And of course, since this is Excel, then if you've already typed uh, the previous data, then just suggest it for the next data set. Then display size in inches. This is nominal class. Okay, it's not sa nominal data. It's not in scale. And life in battery hours. This one is scalar. It's not always the exact. The manufacturer. Then you have Intel. It's the TI. I'm not familiar with this one. Of Apple. It's Amazon. Apple. And that's 3 Intels in a row. Oops. Intel, 3 Intels in a row. And TI. And then you have NVIDIA for gaming. Okay, so that's now your data set. And then as always, you have to check your data. So if you want, you can actually through all of these in one, or you can actually also do this, wrap your text like that, and but don't suggest doing that. Okay, so you simply, but for this one actually you can do that, wrap text. Okay. If you want to fit that one, you can have that one. So this is now your, hey, oh, my Intel particularly and Nvidia. Okay, and so this is now our two examples for how to encode your data in Excel. Okay, so again, as a review, you simply identify your variables and you add that one as your headers. Then you type in the um, data that has been collected under the variable that it has been assigned. It's good. If you want it to be presentable, then you can always do this one. Center your data set. Okay, and then you have this one. Select. And that's center everything. Okay, so again, this is your variables at the top, then your data under each variable. Okay, I think we're now ready for the next step, so you can proceed to the next video.